All right, welcome back. Tonight, the controversy around whether elected officials should sign non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, with potential developers has gotten the attention of media in the Twin Cities, including Fox 9 in Minneapolis. Today, Fox 9 all-day anchor Amy Hockert spoke with St. Louis County Board Chair Annie Harla to get her thoughts on fellow Commissioner Ashley Grimm's belief that commissioners and other elected officials should not sign NDAs like Harla and Commissioners Keith Nelson and Mike Jugovich did this year with a developer who is looking to build a data center in Hermantown. Here is Harla's response.
I think it's our job to make sure we have checks and balances on staff that are doing this and ensuring that whatever process would come forward, that folks that are elected are making sure that staff are going to then follow public process and public procedures. So to have somebody involved in that would make sense. And what I would say is that if one county does this and another county decides it, this is really not for counties to decide. And if one county makes that decision to not do it, that puts you at a different advantage than another, where there's a lot of, like you said earlier, a lot of proprietary information that comes through for different places. And it's interesting, you know, in talking with some other elected officials across the state and the country that have talked about how when they haven't had these available, people have looked other places. And I got to tell you, doing business in Northeast Minnesota, that's everyone's playground, is both someplace people want to do work and also the biggest level of scrutiny on Northeast Minnesota when we're having these. And in fact, a data center is opening up down in the Twin Cities Metro, and I'm not hearing these types of conversations happening statewide. So I am all in to have a discussion on the role of data centers in our region. I don't think it comes back to the NDA discussion. What the focus of this needs to be on is whether or not this is something our community grows on. And this is actually the city of Hermantown's decision. They're the ones who are the zoning authority and the ones that will approve this process.
All right, now, as we have reported earlier this week, Commissioner Grimm's agenda item Tuesday to ban NDAs by elected officials did not get a second vote for discussion. That meant there was no public comment period for residents who filled up that board meeting in Duluth. People became angry in the audience after Vice Chair Mike Jugovich had said people would be able to comment on the NDA topic later in the meeting. That never happened. So John Ramos, publisher of the Duluth Monitor, confronted Jugovich and Commissioner Nelson on camera, which took a turn. Here's that exchange, and then Chairwoman Annie Harla's reaction.
So before the during that public comment period, you specifically told people if there was more people who wanted to speak, they could speak on it. It was coming up.
It never made the agenda.
so
it never made the agenda.
Sir. Yeah. But you said that if there was more people after the meeting, they could speak.
Right.
What I said was there's a half hour. Be clear, a half hour where it runs over. It goes back to after the meeting. That's what I said.
So all these people waiting to speak on the agenda item, you just are not going to listen to them, though?
I never got a second to put it.
Well, you could have made that second. Why didn't you make the second?
I chose not to.
Why didn't you make the second?
Because I don't give a what you think.
Oh, okay? What was that?
I don't give a what you think.
Okay. Do you care what your constituents
think? I do care what my people think. And by the way, she couldn't pass anything. Okay?
What was that you said? You don't give what?
I don't give a what you think, sir.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Proving that every week for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chairwoman, I asked this to you because you are the chair, and seeing that video, kind of what are some of your reactions here?
You know, first of all, I would say that I don't condone that the language that was used, and I don't feel like that is fair. So one thing I just want to say is that I'm working on making this right, that folks need an opportunity to be heard going forward. I haven't had a chance that it'll be coming out, but on the first meeting in November, where we're back in Duluth, we're going to be having a time-specific meeting regarding the role of how St. Louis County has historically used NDAs, so that there's an education opportunity from staff, and then I will be ensuring that there's a public discussion that happens with that, where we can hear feedback from folks. I find it to be really important to do that. And while I had a family engagement prior and knew I was not going to be in the room in response to this, I think it's really important that folks that were there that day and others would have an opportunity for feedback.
All right, and we've reached out to Commissioner Nelson for comment today, but we have not heard back just yet. A county spokesperson has told us that commissioners followed Robert's Rules of Order during Tuesday's meeting. We thank Fox 9 for allowing us to air parts of their conversation. While newscasts, can often have the 10-second sound bites, there are times when the conversation should breathe just a little bit so you feel as informed as possible, and thankfully we can do that here with our 9 o'clock newscast. And I will do this for them. By the way, here you can watch Fox 9 all day, weekdays from noon until 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the Fox local app or on fox9.com. All day cover stories from across the region and often is featuring the Duluth area up here. And I know we have worked with them for many, many years, and they don't have to work with us. We don't have to work with them. We're not owned by each other, but we support each other's journalism, and so I very much appreciate them. Because just like when big things happen here, they need us because they're down there, and it's for the greater good.